Hey guys, welcome. So again, let's study the execution of Java code, like like how our Java code gets actually executed in our computer. Okay, what will happen if I write my code and press enter, say run my code? Okay, what will happen? Okay, right? Let's start with an analogy. Say for an example, let's imagine a scenario. You have to write something. Okay, say for an example, you have to write an article, right? You need a pen to write. Of course you need a pen. Then after that you need a notebook, right? At least you need a paper to write something. You need a notebook. Okay, without notebook you can't write. Okay, where you can write? Okay, so you need a notebook. Likewise, to write a Java source code, I need an environment. Okay, I need an environment. And the environment should allow me to write my Java source code, and that environment is provided by the our editor called as IntelliJ IDEA. It's either called as editor or environment. Editor is a good word because I can write my code and I can edit, right? So that's an editor. And editor, compiler, and JVM all contribute to an environment. Okay, so I need an editor to write my source code. So whatever code which I am writing is a source code, and it's called as a high level programming language because the computer actually don't understand that language. Okay, if I say okay, we'll talk about that in for the modules. We'll say public class, something like that. Main, we will understand everything in great detail. So main and all, your computer won't understand that. Okay, computer won't understand. That's the high level programming language. So but you have to write that code only. Okay, and that gets converted into some other. We'll talk about that now. It's a Java source code, and you have to save the file as .java because that's the extension for the your Java file. Okay, .java means informing the computer that that's a Java file. Okay, so .java. So editor, yeah, IntelliJ IDEA is an example. You can also use some other IDEs, right? Eclipse or BlueJ. That's your wish, but we are going to use IntelliJ, and I would highly recommend to use IntelliJ. Okay, because if you use some other IDEs called Eclipse or BlueJ, you need to separately install JDK. Again, JDK stands for Java Development Kit. Okay, you need to install Java Development Kit in your computer. Then only your other IDEs like Eclipse and what do you call that? BlueJ, that will allow you to write a code. But when you install IntelliJ IDEA, it's a package. Okay, it's a complete package. Then that will install everything for you, like a Java Virtual Machine and Java Development Kit. Okay, a Java Development Kit comprises of a compiler editor. Okay, so when I install IntelliJ IDEA, that will install everything for me. Okay, Java Development Kit. So our Java source code, and that is written in an editor, IntelliJ IDE. After that, it gets compiled by a compiler. So the compiler is nothing but an internal program. Okay, it's again a program, but it's internal program. So we couldn't see how it is written. It's an architecture. So that will convert my Java source code to a bytecode. Okay, a bytecode is again a machine language. We couldn't understand bytecode. Okay, so Java source code is ours, so we can write some statements here, and that can be if I say run, if I give compile, that should be compiled by a compiler. So a compiler is an internal program that's internal. It's in my computer. Okay, in my IntelliJ IDE, that will convert Java source code from will convert Java source code to a bytecode. Okay, from Java source code it will be converted to a bytecode. So compiler converts Java source code to a bytecode. So every Java source code gets compiled to a bytecode. Okay, again, not only Java codes get compiled to a bytecode, so Kotlin programs also. Again, Kotlin is a cross-platform language. When you integrate Kotlin and JVM, okay, that's beyond the scope of this course. We are not talking about Kotlin here. We are purely in Java. But okay, let's example. For an example, I will say Kotlin is a cross-platform language. That means it can work in multiple platforms. Okay, that Kotlin can also be integrated with Java. Okay, I think Kotlin uses Java's library, so it can be integrated with Java. So if Kotlin code is integrated with Java, then Kotlin code also gets converted to a bytecode. Okay, understand that not only Java codes get converted to a bytecode, also Kotlin code also gets converted to a bytecode. But we are talking about Java here. Let's stick with Java. Okay, so that will be converted to a bytecode. After that, we will have something called as again an internal program called as Java Virtual Machine. Okay, that will be installed in your computer. When you install IntelliJ IDE, this all will come as a pack. Okay, Java Virtual Machine and also Java Development Kit. Okay, so bytecode gets accessed by an Java Virtual Machine. Okay, the bytecode is sent to a Java Virtual Machine, and Java Virtual Machine will read that bytecode because the bytecode is a machine language. it only your Java virtual machine can read it. Okay, that will read the bytecode, and that will give it your Windows. Okay, Windows operating system interpreter. Okay, if you are using a Mac, and that will give you to a Mac. If you are using Linux, also the process is the same. It just change Windows as Mac or Linux. Okay, that's it. Okay, so that will interpret the code. Interpret means explains the code to the Windows operating system, and based on the explanation or interpretation, our computer will execute the code. So this is how the flow of execution works. Okay, so from Java code, source code to compiler, sorry, source code gets compiled to a bytecode by a compiler, and again bytecode gets converted to an interpreted code. Okay, again it's not a code, it's just interpretation by an Java virtual machine. So you need Java virtual machine and compiler in this case, and both the compiler and Java virtual machine will be installed when you install IntelliJ IDE. Okay, thank you. We'll see further in next modules.